Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Monday, the first day of the month of December 2025, Monday of the first week of Advent. It is 24 days until Christmas Day. So here we have embarked again on another Advent journey, Christmas on the horizon, now concluding our liturgical year on Saturday afternoon as Saturday evening began our first Sunday of Advent. So back again in another great moment of remembering again who we are before God and what it is that God will do for us to make us understand and realize again how valuable, how precious, how wonderful we are as a creation of God. So God becoming one like us, awaiting again the celebration of Christmas to remember that once again. Remember always, Advent is not a penitential season. It's a season of joyful expectation, although we do have penance services everywhere, it seems. I don't know why, but we do. And but it's not a penitential season. It's a season of joyful expectation, and not just for Christmas Day. The bulk of Advent, remember, is geared toward the second coming of Christ. From the first Sunday of Advent to the 16th of December, we look forward to Christ's fulfillment, to God's fulfillment in the return of Christ and the completion of all that God began on that first day of creation and saying, "Let there be light." We await that. We yearn for it. We long for it. We are not afraid of it. We do not see it as destruction. We do not see it as annihilation, but we see it again as God bringing to fulfillment the promises that God has made throughout history and throughout time and place. And so this first part of the season geared always towards us awaiting Christ's return. And within that, a preface that leads us through these days, these first number of days in the season of Advent, that speaks of Christ coming to fulfill the plan God formed long ago. That is John Duns Scotus, our great Franciscan scholar, who basically believed that Christ comes not because somebody ate a piece of fruit at the beginning of time they weren't supposed to eat, but it's because of God's plan, again, a plan that is greater than our mistakes, than our burdens, than our pains, than our anxieties, that we sometimes think are greater than whatever God can do. And so somehow we constantly have to ask for forgiveness for every little thing that we do. Again, God knows, that we are imperfect. God knows that we are finite. God knows all these kinds of things. And God basically wants us to relax and to enjoy this world that God has given us and to see the beauty and wonder of God's presence in it. And so we are led into this Monday of the first week of Advent with Isaiah, who becomes a prominent figure always during the season of Advent, in which Isaiah forecasts basically an end to the pain and destruction that Israel is experiencing, because again, the kingdom of Israel is being assailed by the Assyrian Empire and will soon be no more because of its bad alliances and its bad choices and whatever it is. But God does not abandon it. And in the midst of all of this pain and this suffering, God plants a mountain that becomes a shade, a protection, a cloud by day, a fire by night, to be able to allow the people to find peace and security. A God not of condemnation, a God not of judgment who comes to us, but a God who wants to make things better, because God knows we cannot do it ourselves. And we have to stop thinking that we can do it ourselves and to look to where it is that God is making things right and well within this world. And then we have Matthew's gospel today, in which it is the centurion who has a sick servant, and he asks basically Jesus to come to cure the servant. And Jesus says, "Let's go to your house." And the centurion says, "I'm not a Jew. I'm not really a believer. But I know that if I ask you, like I would ask one of my soldiers or my servants to get something done, you will do it. And I'm not worthy to come under my roof," and all that other kind of stuff. And Jesus basically says, "I've never seen such faith in Israel." Like there's this faith in this person who is a non-Israelite, and again, and Jesus praises this. It doesn't go into the healing of the sick servant, which does happen, but it is the sense in which if faith can be found in those who don't necessarily embrace the same ideals or carry the same title as we do, then again, what is it more than that God we can see God doing in this world, in bringing wonder and beauty, into this world through us and through unexpected means, through those around us, to see that God is more generous and more extravagant than we can ever anticipate and ever realize. We have to stop thinking in boxes and bubbles. We have to stop thinking in silos and in the small areas that we create for ourselves that we think provide security and peace peace in our lives, because they don't. Our gaze needs to be wider, our embrace needs to be wider, and our understanding needs to be wider of all these things that God does for us, because God cares and loves us. A blessed season of Advent, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord give you his peace.